I recognize that failure will paralyze you. I recognize that if you fall down, you get up. I recognize that, again, if you have a vision of where you're going, you don't let the falling, you don't let the stumbling, and you don't let delay be denial. I recognize that failure is not an option. It's not an option. And once you recognize that failure is not an option, then you understand that if you fall, and the Bible says a good man falls 7 times, but he rises. Thank you. If you will learn how to rise, then you will never, ever, ever allow failure to paralyze you.
How do you combat the fear of failure?
Well, once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you will know when you're sick and tired, because at that point, failure is not an option. And even in my journey, once you put your vision up, guys, just know that you've got to run. You've got to run. It's just not an option. There is no plan B when it comes to success. There is no roadmap to success. It's called GPS now, if you haven't caught on to the technology. Roadmap was over 10, 12 years ago when I got into corporate America. It is truly GPS your system, and be a good student. Because when you're a good student, there is no option for failure. Your GPS system tells you to go left. Why are you going right? Go left. If it tells you to make a U-turn, make a U-turn. Why are you still going straight? Going, I know this path. I know this path. Aren't some of y'all doing that? Okay. Stop being in that holding pattern like a plane just flying up there when God has given you the ability to land. It is truly time for you to land on your destiny and understand that until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and if you are not going after your destiny, guys, you are not sick and tired yet. So continue your journey and know that failure is never an option and it's never a plan B.
Thank you. Molly, how do you combat the fear of failure?
I don't know. I'm definitely afraid of failure. And I have failed many times, and I probably will fail many times to come. But I think that what I've learned is that two things, and this is going to sound odd, but you can fail gracefully. You can fail, and you can do what these two women have said, and you can pick yourself back up. And you can accept that it's not an option, and you can learn from the people around you, and use your networks, and use your resources, and figure out how you're going to move from that failure to success. But you can do that gracefully. There's a way, and I'm not saying you have to hold it in, and you can't share it with people, but you can go down with grace, and you can come back up with grace. And that is a learning process. And also, in that process, I've learned that failure is not always just about something that I bring on myself, that because I turned left when I should have turned right, but that failure can be brought by those who are around you, that they are those unexpected consequences that bring you down. And when I talk about failing with grace and how to bring yourself back up, it also includes figuring out not how you're going to only use those networks to resurrect yourself, but how you're going to continue to interact or not interact with those people who impose failure upon you.
I wake up every day afraid. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't succeed. If I fail, who won't go to college? Whose future will be tarnished? I'm so afraid every day. So I can't say that I combat the fear of failure by understanding that bigger is like the fear of not trying. If I don't try every day, if I don't try, things just will never happen. So I do wake up very afraid because I understand the consequences of failure. They are huge, but those consequences motivate me to be great and to bring greatness to other people. So that's sort of how I deal with it. But I want to say something else, that you have to fail to learn. You have to fail to learn. Think of a baby trying to learn how to walk. If he doesn't fall, he will never learn how to get up. He has to fall. You have to fail to learn.
Thank you. There's a quote that says, what you love, you empower. What you fear, you empower. And what you learn, you attract. Okay? If you fear failure, you will attract failure. And I can guarantee, there's some of you in this room right now that are so inspired and is ready to move, but there's probably some of you still here saying, that could never happen to me, or they just ran into some good coincidences, or they had opportunity. Not true. You have to feed your mind with success all the time. How do you even know that failure exists? Who introduced failure into your mind in the first place? It's the way you interpret it. And I'm telling you, my first radio job, $16,000 a year. $16,000 a year. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm making right now, but it's way more than $16,000. Fear is the enemy of success. It is. Fear is the enemy of success. Feed your mind with success. All of the women here, if you met us all individually, it would probably take you 5 years to just run into all of us are here right now. If you have to wait tonight, if you need to speak to one of us, you need to find a way to make it happen. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop saying, woe is me. It's time for some tough love. I'm sorry. You know, you in that position because of some of the choices that you made. Stop blaming people for where you are at. Your credit is jacked up because you spent money on the wrong things. You're in a bad relationship with a man because it's a reflection of what you are attracting. You know what I'm saying? So you need to hold yourself to higher standards, and you need to feed your mind with success all the time. Don't allow failure to be introduced into your mind. Thank you. For a long time, I was afraid. I was very afraid for a very, very, very long time. And then I bumped into 2 people who were a mess. And I had to work with them every day. And I would have to make phone calls on their behalf. That really taught me not to be afraid, because I had to do this once a week. I faced my fears, and then I also believe with failure, like everyone here said, you must fail. But when you do, you must stand. You must stand, and you must deal with it, good, bad, consequences. It doesn't matter. I recently learned of a quote, and I think it's very appropriate for that question. I believe in God. God will never, ever place you where His grace and love will not protect you. So when you are afraid, that is where I draw my strength. Faith without works, yes. So when I'm afraid, this is what I remember. This sits on my computer every day. I see it every day. So I'm no longer fearful. And when I am fearful, I stand and I deal with it.
Fear actually is the avenue to success. So without failure, there would be no success because you wouldn't know what not to do going forward. But here's the thing though, here's the challenge. If you fall and you stay there because you failed, that's what the issue is. It's like, okay, all right, maybe I shouldn't have worn those high heels because I just fought and fell. All right, and then you go back out and you wear them again and you fall again. Okay, look, one time, shame on you, second time, shame on me. The thing. So it's just like we said earlier, if you continue to go back to the same kind of men, look, if you go into 3